Let's quickly look at the health sector and my reason why I pick the one stock I talk about. So I want to give a breakdown. It's Fidson. I've been tracking Fidson and I noticed when it moved to 20, then it pulled back to this 17 region, which to me is absolutely a buy because of what is going on in the Nigerian health sector. Before I give you details, let's quickly jump to some news. So in 2025 budget, the Nigerian government allocated 2.48 trillion to the health sector, which represent 5.18% of the total budget. So this allocation include funding for health infrastructure, essential medicines, and improvement in universal health coverage. So key aspect of the 2025 health budget. So the total allocation is actually 2.4 trillion and the percentage of total budget is 5.18%. So for infrastructure funding, 402 billion has been allocated. So part of the 2.48 trillion. So 400 billion of it is going for infrastructure and basic healthcare provision fund. They dedicated 282 billion for it. And the purpose to provide infrastructure, medicine, and improve universal health. So when you want to compare this with previous budget, why this is a significant increase from previous year, the allocation still falls short of 15% commitment made under the Abuja Declaration, which Nigeria and other African Union member states pledged to allocate to health. So they actually did not comply based on what Africa decided to be allocating for health. So the World Health Organization also recommend a 15% for this. So they actually did 5. But this 5 now is 2.3, 2.48 trillion coming into the market. This is what is going to be invested in the market. So let's quickly look at the Fitting report. Okay, let us quickly jump. Okay, this is Fitting. So if you want to look at the earnings for Fitting, let's quickly jump to income statement. So if you look at 2025 and 2024, you see that the revenue for Fitting actually increased from 18 billion, it moves to 35 billion, which for me I think is a good one. And despite the jump, you see that the cost of sales also doubled from here also. And if you look at it very well, 18, if you want to multiply 18, we are looking at 36 and now we have 35 and the cost of sales doubled, same way the revenue doubled. So I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at, but despite that, they were able to come out with a gross profit of 12 billion. That is from 7 to 12 billion. That is almost 100%, but well, let's leave it at 80 to 90%. So you look at the other gains and losses, they were able to make much gains in 2025 compared to 2024. And if you look at the administrative cost also, they actually made more expenses based on administrative cost in 2025 compared to 2024. And the impairment of receivable and write back, they actually received this, but they didn't have anyone in 2024. So let's quickly jump to profit after tax. So let's look at profit before tax. We have 1.5 billion to 4.8 billion. Let's quickly jump to profit for the period. So profit for the period jumped from 1 billion, it jumped to 3.2 billion. That is 300% growth. And these are some of the reasons why Fitting is actually shooting. So you can see they actually moved from 45 kobo to 142 kobo, which is 1 naira 42 kobo. So if we want to analyze the revenue and see where the revenue came from, which of course it comes from the production of their drugs. Let's look at cash flow. Okay, let's jump. So this is statement of equity and this is assets, so we don't really need that much. That is for in-depth analysis. So let's quickly look at number 5. Okay, so this is number 5. So this is the revenue. So sales of goods, we have the ethical 22 and we have 12 and we have over the counter, they have 10 billion and 6 billion. For export, they actually made gain from export, but for 2024 they didn't make gains. And for consumer health product, they actually make 1.8 billion and they made only 364 billion. So you can see where the huge bulk of sales came from. So these are the areas where the revenue came from. And one beautiful thing about Fitson is they actually declared dividends. Let's check. They declare dividends. They declare dividends of 1 naira, and you can still qualify for that dividends. Although the price is high now, the share price is high, but qualification date is actually July. So you can monitor and see if the price will actually come down before that period, and you take advantage. Why the payment date will be 11th of July. Members of this payment date should payment is 1st of August. So you can participate in this. But let's quickly jump to our chart and see something. So let's look at what Fidson has done. From this area, Fidson has jumped up to this point. And if we want to trace what is possible for Fidson, let's quickly look at daily chart. Let's know if okay, let's check weekly and get a full overview of it. So you can see where Fitting starting from 64 kobo, and gradually it started shooting up until it got to this part. So if we quickly jump back to the daily chart, so what I want to bring out here, I want to see the pullback we'll be expecting from Fitting. So if this is Fitting and we pull our FIB2, let's come to this place and then look at our FIB2. Okay, it's not here. Let's come to this part. So let's look at our FIB2 here. So we'll come to the recent low and we'll take it here. So if I want to go in, I'll be waiting for Fitson to pull back to around 22 before I go in. But now that the price is actually shooting, let's see where the price can actually get to. Of course, you should know that this is not a buy or sell recommendation. So let's pick this. Let's take it from high. Let's take it to low. So from here, we'll be looking at Fitting hitting 34. So we'll be looking at 34. And if we want to follow the normal pullback that we checked, so from here, we should get 44 or we get 34. So these are two areas that Fitting might hit before we get any retracement. So, but for me, I will not touch Fitting. It's too high. Imagine you're buying at 27 and you decide to touch, because anyhow you look at it, it might still come down to this support because it has not shown any sign that it's going to create support around this area. So until we have another push and we have another pushback, that is when we now have support for Fitting. So this is Fitting for you, and I want to be sure you understand what I'm trying to show you in my analysis of this current company. So I just want to show you that this is what is possible. This is the right place you would have entered, and now that you've missed it, you just have to exercise patience. But I know if you're a newbie, you think this thing will not come down again, that in fact you've missed it. Don't think like that. It will always come down. It will always come down to your entry. And maybe when it's coming down, you'll be afraid of buying it because you say, are you sure it will go back up? So I just showed you some catalysts and a lot of things happening in the health sector. So another company I want you to look at is we've looked at Fitting, is Maybaker. So let's look at Maybaker and see how their earnings is actually doing. Okay, let's come to this place. So if we look at the 3 month, they are in 9 billion 2025, and 3 month 2020 and 3 month 2024 they are in 6 billion. So we're going to concentrate on the group. So this is where they are 12 months, and then this is where they are 12 months. So you see no much difference. But let's quickly jump to profit before tax. So you see 1 billion from 963 billion. So that is this more than 50%, and I think it's also another good one. So let's look at profit for the year. You can see profit for the year they actually made, because we are looking at 3 months 2024 and 3 months 2025. So from 655 million, they actually made 1.1 billion in the 2025 earnings. So you can see that they actually pushed up. That shows that they are actually making sales, and because you see their revenue also shoot up, yeah, also almost 50% growth. And if you look at their gross profit from 2 billion to 3.4 billion, which is not too amazing, but it's still a marginal growth, so to speak. So if you look at earnings per share, they actually moved from 37 kobo, they moved to 66 kobo, which is also another one to look at. So if you look at it, not too amazing compared to other, compared to Fitting that we just look. Let's quickly look at Fitting, and so that you know what I'm talking about. So this is Fitting. Okay, yeah, this is fitting. You see, the revenue growth wasn't that much, but it's almost times two. You understand? And if you come to this place also, it's times three. Their earnings per share is times three. So, in other words, you can choose Fitting over Maybaker from what we've seen in this earnings here. But we're still going to look how they are performing and see how. But let's look at their revenue also and see the revenue is in note 5. So that will help us to know where the revenue is coming from. Thank God you've seen where the revenue of Fitting is coming from. So it's for us to look at that of Baker so that we'll know if we are actually at the right track. So here we are. You can see revenue. Revenue only came from that is analysis of revenue. This sales of goods. This. So they didn't give us much details where the revenue is coming from. They only okay segmented information reported. This. They didn't actually give us much. So, okay, they actually come to this place to give us pharmaceutical. They made 3.4 billion, and for beverages, they make 23 million. I think still okay. So we can track where the money is coming from. Why for fitting, I think they made money from many places like that. So you can see they are making money from almost five places. Here is just two places, just two products. So pharmaceutical and beverages. So this will also tell what you want to do. Let's quickly jump and look at Maybaker chart. So this is Maybaker. So Maybaker is currently selling for 11.95. And if you look at the chart, let's quickly jump to weekly. So if you look at the chart, you see where Maybaker has been coming from. So Maybaker actually jumped. This is stock that is selling for 3 naira, 4 naira, and you can see how it moves. So you see this stock was around just this April 2025 was selling for 685. So if you enter around this area by now, your portfolio should be 100% up. But unfortunately, maybe you didn't enter, and that is why I'm doing this video so that you can see another one that you can key in before we experience this huge jump. So this is it for Maybaker. You can see what the numbers are currently doing. So if we want to wait for pullback, of course, pullback is sure for this. It's sure for all of them, but this just tells us that okay, if we want to buy back again, it will be around this area. So any pullback we're expecting will be around this area. And if you are buying around this area, we'll be rest assured that we can also get in around this area also. So this is let's take it here. Let's take it here. So push it up. So we're looking at these two area in case for any pullback because you don't want to buy at this top except if you FOMO and if you follow your emotion. So this is what you need to know. So I just showed you the fundamentals of Maybaker and this is the chart. So question, should I go in now? For me, I will not advise you go in. You just have to wait and see if there will be a pullback. If no pullback, opportunity abounds in the market. Those in my community always know each time we make money, we celebrate. And if we miss any stock, we don't jump at it, we wait. And if you are jumping at it, you must keep good cash for averaging down. So if it's coming down, you already know that you anticipated it and you take the necessary action. So we've looked at fitting, we look at Maybaker. So let's look at Mecure. So let's see what Mecure has for us. So this is just Mecure. This is the analysis in brief. Revenue jumped from 8 billion to 13 billion 2025, and that is 65% up. And the profit before interest and tax is actually 1.6 to 2.5. And profit for the period actually went down, which is 641 of this. So with this, you don't want to even come and put your money here, except your uncle or your brother is working there and you just want to buy for sentiment so that it won't look as if you're not supporting your brother. So this is a brief overview. Sorry, this is the full details of what we just read at the previous page there. So you can see the earnings per share actually decreased from 16, it decreased to 14. And you see from 641 decreased to 568. And that tells you that they are actually facing challenge currently. But if we want to look at the where revenue comes from, it's not too important, but just for us to see any shortfall and what is going on. Sales of finished product. They actually made good sales in 2025, which is 13 billion, and these and average. All revenue was generated within Nigeria. Okay, this is the breakdown. Acute, they made 7 billion. Then chronic, 1.1 billion. Narcotics, they make 89 billion. OTC, this supplement, they actually make good money from supplement, 2.5 compared to last year, and promotional. So what actually did well? Okay, if you look at the report right now, you see that they actually made sales in every they made improvement in all areas. So you can see total of 13, total of 8. So I think what will actually be the problem is maybe the cost of sales. That might be the challenge that they are having. So let's quickly look at it. uh okay, cost of sales 8, and last one they had 5. So, and if you look at operating profit, these, okay, okay, okay. Finance cost, I think finance costs also take a lot of their money. For last year it was 739, and now they have 1.7. So let's quickly jump to the chart and see if this company that is actually giving us negative, not negative PS per se, but giving us reduced earnings. So you can see from their report, from the chart, you can see weekly charts that is not encouraging. So look at the stock and see how it's going. So you want to consider, if you have it, you want to actually take profits and just exit. One, so that you just exit and protect your capital. So let's look at Neimeth. This is Fidson. We just talked about this. So this is Neimeth. So you can see revenue of this company actually grew 86%, and cost of sales also increased to 97, gross profit 27. And if you look at the profit for the year, from 77 to 155, and here we have 49% growth. And if you look at earnings per share, from 2 to 3, that's 49%. So if you quickly jump to the chart and come to this part, so you see that this company is actually cheap right now, and that is why I'm encouraging anyone who's interested to go in. We are still in this area here, so if you can go in around here, you're able to make good profit. So guys, thank you so much. Until I come your way again, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're going to define my post enriching videos like this. Thank you once more. See you in the next one.